World-renowned Dallas pastor TD Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean "Diddy" Combs.
So I want to get right into it, man. How you feel about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and TD Jakes?
Following Diddy's high-profile case, things have reportedly gotten heated when Bishop TD Jakes reportedly shared some surprising information, catching everyone off guard. The unexpected news started a lot of talk about what their relationship really is and how the bishop could be involved in Diddy's legal issues. However, the reaction that stood out for many was that of Diddy the Just. Breaking news is that Diddy loses it in court after TD Jakes snitches on him. This resulted in a courtroom chaos. What did Bishop TD Jakes reveal? How will this change Diddy's trial? Stay with us as we break down all the details and what this could mean for Diddy's case moving forward. Bishop TD Jakes snitches on Sean "Diddy" Combs. Bishop TD Jakes from Dallas is said to be suing anyone trying to spread rumors about him being seen at Diddy's parties. He was first mentioned in a lawsuit by Lil Rod, who claimed that Diddy used TD Jakes' religious influence to make himself look better. It's also said that TD Jakes helped Diddy meet new people and used his role at the Potter's house to fix Diddy's reputation. TD Jakes has denied doing anything wrong, but hasn't said much about the claims of being at Diddy's parties. Many people claim to have seen TD Jakes at Diddy's famous all-white parties and private gatherings, so one of these witnesses, Gene Deal, said he also saw TD Jakes there and couldn't understand why a religious leader would be involved with someone like Diddy. Gene Deal had spoken before about pastors being connected to Diddy, suggesting that some might not be as good as they seem. It's possible that TD Jakes is just another person under Diddy's control.
Or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere.
Reports say Diddy would invite famous and powerful people to his parties, spike them, and record them in embarrassing situations. He would then use these recordings to blackmail them and get them to do what he wanted. Some think this could be how Diddy gained control over TD Jakes, with rumors suggesting that Diddy used secrets to manipulate him. The claims against Bishop TD Jakes are shocking and complicated, involving accusations of mistreatment, corruption, and control. As the lawsuits move forward and more information comes out, it's getting harder to tell what is true and what is not. Bishop TD Jakes has supposedly stated that he was never involved in Diddy's illicit operations or other claims, despite the fact that Sean Diddy is still behind bars. Many have been taken aback by this comment, as there are rumors that Diddy may have believed Jakes would help repair his reputation as always. Instead, Bishop TD Jakes has spoken out strongly against everything Diddy is accused of. It seems Diddy might be losing any secret plans he had to get out of this situation. But is Bishop Jakes really innocent, or was he tricked into being involved? What might be hiding behind his public image? Let's take a closer look. TD Jakes called out for sexual immoralities. On November 25th, 2024, Bishop TD Jakes started a defamation lawsuit against Pastor Dwayne Youngblood. Pastor Youngblood accused TD Jakes of trying to sexually mistreat him when he was 18 years old and of attempting to humiliate him in the church during a service. Youngblood said he had witnesses and phone records to back up his claims, and the things he said were shocking. Pastor Dwayne remembered driving Bishop Jakes to where he was staying and then being invited to talk. He shared the experience, saying that you can't really imagine being 18 or 19 and this person is very successful, telling you, "Come in, let's talk." So I went. We took a seat at a long table in his room, and for 2 hours he talked about my father and shared his sentiments with me. We discussed these situations, and I knew deep down that I had found someone who truly understood, he continued. I started crying as I sat at that table and spoke to him for the first time because I felt like I was being understood by someone. After sitting there and having that long talk with him, I finally realized that someone understood what I was going through. As we kept talking, I looked at my watch and thought, oh my goodness, I need to go. I have to get this car back to my mom before she gets upset with me. He added, "See ya," so I told the bishop I had to leave. I stood up from the table, and he stood up too. He walked toward where I had to exit. As I walked past him, he pulled me to him, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. At that moment, I felt like I died. To this day, I can't tell you how I got out of that place, but I remember driving home. I had all kinds of crazy thoughts. What in the world was I gonna do now? I finally got home, went inside, got into bed, and tried to sleep. I fell asleep and woke up in the morning. When I stepped into the bathroom, my home phone rang. My mom answered the phone and said, "Dwayne, it's Elder Jake." I picked up the phone, and when I answered, I could hear water running. He was sitting in the bathtub, and without thinking, he told me, "There are 3 things I need you to do. The first was, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only one I sleep with. The second was, you can't sleep with anyone else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And the third was, I will take care of you for the rest of your life." I can't remember how I got off the phone, but I know I decided not to go to church that night. I later told my mom I wasn't going, And she said, no, you know the rule in this house. If we go, you go. I never told her what had happened. I went to church and the most embarrassing thing happened. Bishop Jakes stood up to preach, took the microphone and said, I'm gonna ask Minister Youngblood to read for me. After everything that happened over the last 24 hours, I had to read before he preached. However, no additional details about this alleged accusation or lawsuit have been shared. Furthermore, it seems Bishop TD Jakes remains a subject of criticism and controversy. What else could there be to uncover? Stay tuned to learn more. Controversies surrounding Bishop TD Jakes. Famous preachers don't often make it into the headlines, and when they do, it's usually about their spiritual messages. Bishop TD Jakes, however, has changed course in recent months. In contrast to how he is typically portrayed in the media, his name has been linked to odd tales. Now, his media appearances have become more negative, with serious accusations casting doubt on his character. For a long time, Bishop Jakes has been criticized for his ties to wealthy people with questionable morals, but he has often ignored these claims and seemed unaffected by them. But recent occurrences indicate that his circumstances have changed. Since new information has surfaced, many are beginning to doubt Jake's long-held flawless reputation. His name is currently associated with a number of scandals that are beginning to overshadow any positive aspects of his life, particularly in the news-driven society of today. As the accusations mount, more people are starting to question if he is innocent. The situation grew more serious when two people shared troubling stories about how the preacher behaved inappropriately when they were younger. Adding another layer to the drama, the preacher's own son got caught up in a different issue, which made the rumors about the preacher seem even more believable. Although Jake has dealt with big problems in the past, these new claims have come at the worst possible time for him. His church once brought him fame, but other events have kept him in the public eye. Some of these events have been especially shocking, like the recent news about his son. According to police in Dallas, Jermaine Jake, the son of TD Jake, a well-known Dallas pastor with strong opinions about homosexuality, was arrested during a sting operation aimed at stopping gay activity in Keith Park. A while back, Jermaine Jake was charged with indecent exposure for reportedly exposing himself in front of two undercover officers. The arrest report said the officers were following up on complaints about suspicious behavior when they saw Jermaine Jake and other unidentified men parking their cars in a lot east of the park. The detectives followed Jake into a wooded area where he allegedly walked up to them with his private parts exposed through his unzipped pants. The affidavit states that Jermaine kept direct eye contact with one of the officers while doing this for several seconds. Even though there were people walking and jogging on a nearby trail, Jake didn't try to hide his actions. After being briefly held, he was let go at the scene. The preacher has been an outspoken critic of same-sex marriage, drawing backlash from HIV/AIDS activists who believe his views add to the stigma surrounding homosexuality and substance use. TD Jakes has said, "I have not seen scriptural authority that allows me to stand on behalf of God and say, I now pronounce you husband and husband or wife and wife. This is an issue the government is unsure about, but the Bible is not." Jermaine Jake's lawyer, Faith Johnson, confirmed in a statement that they were aware of the claims and that an investigation was underway. However, no further details were given because the case is still being looked into by the government. The situation doesn't end there. The preacher might soon face court over claims of misconduct. One of his former mentees, Manasseh Jordan, said in a recent video that people who say they were victims of the preacher's actions are planning to take legal steps against him. With all the drama surrounding Bishop TD Jakes, reports allegedly says that his health has taken a big hit.
I didn't experience it. What I did experience was the feeling of being cradled.
The stress from everything happening seems to have affected him. Like, what exactly happened to Bishop Jakes and how is he dealing with it? Keep watching to find out more. Bishop TD Jakes allegedly collapsed during sermon. During a Sunday service at the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas, the well-loved pastor, spiritual mentor, and respected leader Bishop TD Jakes left his congregation and online followers very worried. The 66-year-old bishop's sudden health scare shocked everyone in the church and his millions of followers watching from around the world. The church, packed with worshipers, excited to hear his wisdom, became filled with worry when the well-known preacher suddenly faced a medical emergency in the middle of his sermon. His change in behavior raised immediate fears that he might have had a serious health problem, like a stroke or heart attack. As word of the dire circumstances circulated across the crowd, several people bowed their heads in prayer. Some spoke quietly out of concern, and some even started crying. Bishop Jake normally has a lot of enthusiasm, so it was odd for him to sit when the service started. Still, his love for his ministry showed through as he spoke about his dedication to his calling and his love for the people he serves. His strong voice filled the church as he talked about the importance of faith, strength, and endurance when facing life's challenges. But as the service continued, he appeared to lose his enthusiasm and his movements became unsteady. Concern was expressed by those close to the pulpit who observed his labored breathing and brief speech breaks. Bishop Jake was clearly uncomfortable, but he made an effort to continue, desperate to deliver his message. The room became tense as it became evident that he was unable to continue as he allegedly collapsed. While ushers and security silently kept the peace while Bishop Jake was being meticulously cared for, the church's staff and medical team moved swiftly to assist him. Many members of the church prayed for their pastor's healing while holding hands. Social media was flooded with words of concern, support, and prayers for Bishop Jake's recovery from the global online community. It's possible that Bishop TD Jakes' sudden breakdown was due to the physical and emotional pressure of his work, especially for someone like him whose influence goes far beyond his church. It might also be because of the stress from the controversies he is facing. With all the current discussions, health issues, and the alleged betrayal by TD Jakes, it seems that Diddy is making new efforts to extricate himself from the situation he is currently in. What exactly is Diddy Combs doing now? Let's investigate. Defense claims Diddy freak off videos prove his innocence. According to ABC News, lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs argued in a court filing a few days ago that videos showing sexual acts between the rapper, his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and male escorts prove Mr. Combs' innocence because they show acts between willing adults. There are 9 videos which prosecutors have said Combs referred to as freak-offs, described by prosecutors as carefully planned and staged sexual performances that the defense team can now watch. They are asking the judge for copies of the videos on it. The government's claims to this court and the public are misleading. The so-called freak-offs were private sexual activities between adults who had been in a long-term relationship, said defense lawyers Mark Agnifilo and Tenny Garagos. Prosecutors have said that the freak-offs prove Combs forced, spiked, and kidnapped women for sexual activities, even bringing in prostitutes to participate. Ventura claimed in a civil lawsuit that Combs often hit and kicked her, causing bruises, black eyes, and bleeding. The lawsuit described the freak-offs as being substance-fueled, multi-day sexual acts that Combs allegedly pressured women into, which he recorded for his own pleasure. The defense had a very different view. These videos clearly show that the person named in the indictment as victim 1 not only agreed to but enjoyed herself, the defense said. In the end, this case is about whether victim 1 was a willing participant in her private sexual relationship with Mr. Combs. The videos show she definitely was, the defense added. Federal prosecutors claim that Combs has been mistreating, threatening, and forcing women and others around him to meet his sexual needs, protect his reputation, and hide his actions. Since 2008, he faces charges of sex trafficking by force, transporting people for prostitution, and racketeering, claiming he ran an organization involved in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, and other crimes, according to the federal indictment. Combs has denied all accusations. Even while in jail, Diddy is still in the news. A recent story, though not confirmed, claims that Diddy's case might be linked to a recent big incident. How is this possible? What could this incident be? Let's look into it. Sean Diddy allegedly tied to the California fire outbreak. Cat Williams is back in the news, and this time he's saying that Diddy's criminal case might be connected to the recent California wildfires. Over the past few weeks, the wildfires have caused huge damage, destroying entire neighborhoods, taking more than 20 lives, forcing thousands of people to leave their homes, hurting or killing many pets and wild animals, and causing billions of dollars in losses.
Bumper traffic right now as hundreds of people try to get out. You can see flames here on both sides of the road.
Investigators haven't officially said what started the fires, but the internet is full of ideas. One popular theory claims that Hollywood elites started the fires to get rid of evidence tied to lawsuits involving Diddy. Some people have pointed out that several homes owned by big-name stars burned down while these celebrities were dealing with scandals, lawsuits, or money troubles. Former U.S. official Catherine Austin Fitts also talked about this theory on her podcast. She said it was strange that the homes of some celebrities linked to Diddy stayed safe while houses nearby were destroyed. During George H.W. Bush's administration, Fitts worked in housing and claimed to have seen a pattern in who lost their homes and who didn't, leading her to wonder what was actually happening. Online, these concepts have generated a lot of discussion. Some hypotheses are making people pause, while others appear crazy. Many now think that influential figures in politics in Hollywood may have intentionally ignited these fires to conceal evidence ahead of Diddy's May trial. Honestly, one of the first things I check is how many homeowners in these areas were connected to Diddy's list. Catherine said. Ever since Homeland Security conducted searches of Diddy's residence in Miami and Los Angeles in March 2024, the Diddy list that Fitz mentioned has become a popular internet subject. In circumstances like this, she stated, I like to look at the patterns, like who was affected and how it happened. Although the list has never been officially confirmed, it's said to involve famous names like Jay-Z, Beyonce, J-Lo, Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah, Ashton Kutcher, Leonardo DiCaprio, and even some politicians and shady activities at Diddy's wild parties. Catherine Austin Fitz went further and suggested that these wildfires might have been started on purpose to hide terrible crimes against the most vulnerable people. She claims she has seen extreme actions taken before to cover up ugly truths. Her statements are getting attention after old comments from Ally Carter, one of Diddy's accusers, started to cause a stir again last year. Ally told her followers on social media to stay aware, warning that fires or explosions might be used to cover up the alleged crimes of the rich and powerful in Hollywood and politics. Now Ally is back saying, I told you so, and adding, these celebrity homes burning down in the fires is no accident, especially now that Diddy's alleged partners are being named in lawsuits. Didn't I warn you about an accidental fire or explosion? Ally said. Now celebrity homes are burning down and everything's going up in flames. I pray for those in danger, but I also pray that it reveals the truth it needs to expose. This information raises a big question. Could these fires be a way to destroy important evidence connecting some well-known Hollywood figures to the Diddy scandal? What do you think about Bishop TD Jakes being linked to Diddy? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.